Disclaimer. This show is for discussion and entertainment purposes only. The Finding Gnosis show is a platform for open discussion, exploration, and opinion sharing. The views expressed by hosts, guests, and participants are personal opinions and do not constitute professional, medical, legal, or financial advice. All topics discussed are only intended to spark curiosity, entertain, and encourage independent thought. If any subject interests you, we strongly advise conducting your own thorough research using reliable and professional sources. Critical thinking and due diligence is key. Stay curious, stay informed, be well, be lucky, and don't be an arsehole.
Relax and take a moment to go inwards, seek inspiration from what is going on inside your mind. Allow thoughts and feelings to marinate in your conscious awareness. What comes to the fore? Meditate on whatever signs and symbols appear in your mind's eye. Relax and meditate. And when you feel ready, when you feel compelled to say something, click on the link in the live chat to speak to us. Hello. Hello. Welcome to another Finding Gnosis show, where we're trying to find out what is going on in this strange existence that we are all apparently sharing together. And we're trying to figure out what is going on here and what we should be doing. If you'd like to join the conversation, the link is in the live chat. Don't be shy. We have Chickpea, a regular here, part of the furniture now.
Oh,
Chickpea, what would you like to say?
Did you read today in the paper? You hear the cats fighting?
I did, yeah.
You naughty girl.
I hope they're not fighting over you, Chickpea, vying for your attention.
They do fight over me.
Mm.
They squabble over me and my affection.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a bit naughty. I think because they haven't been outside all day because of the cold.
Mm.
Did you read in the paper a woman was arrested by 6 UK policemen for feeding some pigeons?
Really?
In the Daily Mail. That
Where
was
was
on YouTube as well. That's how bad this country's becoming for people like me.
Hmm.
So I think it's a disgrace. I'm really quite upset about it because that could be me. Because I go down, if I've got if I have any sort of spare seeds and spare cat food, I just take it down the park with me when I go, the supermarket or anything, and I feed them. Now, that to have 6 police officers, you'd have seen these 6 stupid, wimpy people gathering around one skinny little female. Very upsetting, actually. It is, isn't it? I don't like the attitudes that you can't feed the local wildlife. I think that's a disgrace. I really feel for her.
Well, I mean, was she let go?
I don't know the whole story of it yet. Well, she will be let go.
Why don't you read it? Why don't you read it if you have access to it?
It's in the Daily Mail. Hold on, where is it? It's also on YouTube. There's a guy, he filmed it all and everything. And
FYI, FAO, everybody, if you're going to say something on the show, if you're going to bring a news story to the show, please have the source, read it to us. Don't paraphrase it in a way that might, be mistaken.
Hold on, where is it? Oopsie day, where's it gone? I just find it all so, but to send out 6 police officers, did I tell you a couple of years back, I was run over on the pavement by a pavement cyclist. And I had a bit of a hissy fit because, I told you. And when I phoned him up to complain because he spat at me, it was, did he attack you with a knife? So I said, no. Oh, well, that's all right then. That's the help I get from the police. I get bloody fed up with the police.
Say what? That's, oh my goodness.
Yes, it's not fun. Yes, but it's happening all the time. Did you watch Talk TV?
Well, they are only human, and it may be how you talk to them as well. No,
Dick, that's not fair. Okay, I'm always nice to them.
Well, look, I'm trying to see the other side of things. There's always another side, right? I mean, first of all, you've got to appreciate that in this world, you've got to communicate properly when you meet people. And I'm not saying you can't do this, but when you're meeting someone, they're a stranger to the situation. They don't have any information, only what you're telling them. So you've always got to make sure that you're communicating exquisitely well. Actually, don't use big words. Try to be as simplistic in your wording, yet effective. That is the method of communication I would advise when trying to depict what has happened in a situation.
Oh, but DW, we're living in a country where men go shoplifting and just take whatever they want and walk out the shop. The police do nothing. But a little old lady, if she wasn't old, she was a young woman, shows some half a dozen of them turn up to arrest her. I'm outraged by it because you know what? I'm losing all faith in the police. And now it really has gone. Completely gone. So why are you working so hard lately?
I wouldn't call it working. I just got back late, so I thought, I am actually a bit wired, a bit wide awake. So I thought I'd come on for like an hour. Maybe Noodles or someone could come on and run the show if I do start fading.
Have you been taking
Um,
cocaine? You've been on the coke?
no, I haven't. No. I just walked home from meeting a few folk, and I had a bit of caffeine earlier, so I'm a little bit, I'm still wired, as they say.
Yeah.
Drinking energy drinks too late.
They don't
Yeah,
work on me anymore. I've become sick.
really.
Yeah, all that used to work so well on me, coffee. Now
Are
I'm
you a
just.
caffeine fiend?
I used to be when I was younger and I worked, but I prefer tea to coffee, and I drank coffee just to keep myself awake. No, when I was working.
Mm.
Oh yeah, yes. Jobsworth Council officers strike again. Woman is handcuffed by police and fined £100 for feeding pigeons in London. In latest example, now you have to see these bloody police people. It's sickening, absolutely sickening. Now I'm really very disturbed by it because she's upset. She's crying. I'd be bloody crying. I just find it outrageous because I don't be funny when I say it's to DW, but the police I have seen, they allow pavement cyclists, which in my opinion should not be allowed. They just sail straight past. But I expect it's safe to say if I were to decide to go and cycle on the pavement, there's soon as something to say to me.
Pamela, lovely to have you here, darling. I do hope you are exceedingly well. Pamela says this asylum earth has been taken over by the lunatics, and now the lunatics are running this.
Yeah, they are. They are running the asylum.
Yeah.
Yes, a piece of paper.
Well, has it ever been anything otherwise?
Well, it's got D&W. I remember when I was young, the police were real
back in my day.
Stop it, D&W. Back in the 70s and 80s, the police were real. Lovely guys.
They were. Look.
Yeah,
I don't have any beef with the police. I think they do an extremely difficult job, and for the most part, the ones I've met have been fantastic in terms of their individual nature. You know what I mean? Their personality, their mannerism, their respect, their decorum. It has been all very good. What I actually believe is it is potentially the case. They don't get enough support. They don't get enough backing. They don't have enough. Maybe they're not even getting enough pay. Maybe they're too stressed. Maybe they haven't got enough power. Maybe, just maybe, the police are having to do things that are perhaps the job of other parts of society, like social work, mental health work, these types of things, being motivating people, etc., etc. Society is falling apart, and I believe
it's bloody scary.
I believe the police are stretched, and they're having to do so much outside of, I believe, their original remit, which is to keep the peace. They're having to act as social workers, as I said. I don't know, youth workers, you name it, they're doing it. And
when I was young, police officers
it's sad. They're acting that they're stretched. They're stretched.
Well, then
and they probably should get paid more, so we attract a better caliber.
DW, they're so stretched. Why are they 6 of them going out after a little lady feeding some bloody pigeons if they're that stretched?
I think I think they're trying to there's so much going on that they're possibly they're trying to tick boxes with easy stuff because there's just so much.
Yes, easy pick. Anyway, the woman who was handcuffed and at times visibly upset was surrounded by at least 6 police officers and 2 council enforcement workers.
Pamela says, big respect to doctors, police, lawyers, teachers. Most of them have double the job if they don't resign. Yeah, big respect to paramedics, nurses, big respect to all these people, youth workers, social workers,
No, but when I was young,
volunteers.
When I was young, the police were fine big, boofy men. Now it's all right, little twits hanging about. They've changed the whole recruitment thing. I don't know what they've done. Anyway, it comes after a series of incidents which have seen Brits fined for seemingly harmless behaviour, including the passing out of leaflets campaigning against council cuts and leaving furniture outside to go cut. I don't know. I feel so sorry for this woman. I really do. She's terrified. You could see her in tears.
Right.
Bloody sick.
Folks, if you want to join the conversation, link is in the live chat. Don't be shy. Come on, have your say. Join the conversation. Be part of the ongoing search for Gnosis in real time. Don't be a bystander. Be an active participant. Yeah, Chickpea. Anything going on in the news? I haven't read it for a few hours, so.
Well, this is the main one.
You can enlighten me. Come on, that's not the main story. A woman getting arrested for throwing a few grass seeds at pigeons. That's not the fucking main news of the fucking.
How would you like if you were arrested for throwing your girlfriend?
I know, but in terms of global significance, Chickpea, come on.
It's globally significant to me.
Come on.
Dear W, I'm the sort of person that could happen to. I'm the sort of person this could happen to very easily because I go out every day feeding them. Bloody terrifying. Another woman, a grandmother, was campaigning against council cuts and was fined because a camping table she set on the street was judged to be an unauthorized structure. She set up a little table on the street, the way you see people of other whatever.
Yeah, Dog says it's illegal to feed birds in the London Borough of Harrow at large. And it's illegal to feed them in lots of places like town centres, etc. But we have a criminal on the show, and her name is Chickpea. She's willing to overlook the law of the land because she wants to feed the pigeons. Now, I don't mind you feeding the pigeons, Chickpea. In fact, I have to say, my partner feeds the pigeons. Now, I will say, be careful where you feed the pigeons because it may not be doing them any favors. If you feed them in the wrong area, they may get used to living in that area. And let's just say there may be a council-sanctioned hawk brought in to pay them an unsavory visit. So be careful where you encourage pigeons to frequent. Because if they don't want them there, you may well be the cause of the pigeon's future demise.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
You know what? I'm glad I'm 71 years old and I haven't got much longer on this planet if that's how things are going. Because you know what, those poor pigeons, a pigeon is actually a dove with grey feathers. It's actually a dove.
Well, they're actually a rock dove or something. They come from they naturally inhabit the cliffs of Northern Ireland and parts of the British Isles, other parts of the British Isles. But a lot of them originally in Northern Ireland, but I believe it's a mistake to say they are actually just doves. They actually were first. They first of all do look like they've always been that kind of grey color. It's just that was kind of bred out of them. Now there are obviously wood pigeons as well, but I think they could breed with each other, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
But it's our fault they live in cities because we domesticated them.
Well, look, I don't know how they got in, but they didn't live too far away from cities, so the wind might have brought them in one day, and they might have thought, well, we'll hang around. Not just that, but unfortunately, humans probably ate pigeons as well.
Yes, we used to eat them. Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. I don't know if there was any pigeons in that song, but I've heard of people eating pigeons.
But anyway, just see this poor woman.
Unfortunately.
So
they might have escaped from Avery's. They might have escaped from farms.
Ex-domesticated, poor things. I love pigeons. They are very sweet birds, and they're so kind.
They are very unusual birds in some ways as well. Because have you ever seen like that? Although they do live in cities, in some ways, it's the worst place for them.
Yes, I know, because like we have.
Because A, there's a lot of pollution around, which doesn't do them any good.
Woo.
B, they have a tendency. If you look at urban pigeons, a lot of them are missing feet, missing
Yes, I
legs,
know. I try and help them.
because of
Yes.
they get like string and hair tangled
Yeah.
around their feet as young ones in the nest a lot of the time, because they're
Yes.
the mother pigeon or the father pigeon builds the nest out of whatever rubbish he can find.
Yes.
And sometimes, yeah, it involves human hair. And basically that human hair, the elongated human hair, wraps around the developing foot of the pigeon and cuts off its blood supply to the degree that it eventually falls off. And so you do get these one-footed pigeons hopping along,
It's heartbreaking.
around town, and it is sad. Yeah, sometimes you'll often see them without any toes; they'll just be a stump.
Yes, it's heartbreaking.
And that is what is going. I did go out with a lady who we were cutting the string off the pigeons. And do you know how easy it is to pick up pigeons? I did it that day, and it's unbelievable how easy it is to catch the urban ones. Yeah,
it's very
you
sad.
can just walk right up to them, and then suddenly make a quick movement, and you've got it in your hand. And then we basically use a tiny little nail scissors to cut off to kind of free their legs from this string that was around them. But yeah, a lot of them in a sorry state. Hell of a lot of pigeons in a sorry state.
I live, they're really fat.
And also they build their nests out of the oddest things. I've seen nests online built from glass, built from nails, built from screws.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And another thing you see a lot of in cities as well is you see elderly pigeons, sick pigeons, sometimes unable to fly because they're so old, and you'll be walking along. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, and out the corner right, you might see something just at the side of a building, and what it is a pigeon unable to fly, and it's kind of hiding out of the way, trying to get some rest. It can't even get up on top of a wall. It literally is on the ground, and it is just a future foxes, rats, or cats' dinner.
Yeah, my Bella.
As I said, these rats do attack the pigeons. They attack them. Yeah. As for the peregrine falcon, that we have peregrine falcons around here as well. They do come and catch them. In fact, I saw one not so long ago catching one in midair. It was quite the spectacle. The poor thing didn't have a chance.
But that's the cruel, brutal world this is. But these two little...
It is, and I'm in a foul mood with it today, actually, because my friend died yesterday, and I'm
sorry to hear that.
Well, he died a few days back, but I've just been... It is a hellscape reality. I'm sorry. I'm back to that kind of It really
good.
Is. I mean, I've always said it, Chickpea. I've always said it. But it's just extremely brutal, and I don't know what to say, Chickpea. Can you give me a hope and a prayer?
No,
can you do a little dance for me?
Because
Can you sing a song or something? Can you do some kind of meditation or something to make everything okay?
But you just see
all these just overwhelming stories. The news stories, fucking Trump, fucking the invasion of jihadis. The climate change, global heating, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, it's gonna be bad this year.
Oh my god, it's just the AI fucking dystopia, possibly. Highly likely. It's just like, what the hell is going on? Somebody stop the fucking planet so I can get off.
But this these two police officers with this woman, two stupid itsy bitsy Nancy.
What are we here for, Chickpea? What the hell are we here for?
We're here to suffer for the loose.
We're here to make it better.
We can't make it better. It's not possible.
Chickpea,
to see what.
Chickpea, do these conversations not make your life a little bit better sometimes?
Yeah, that's why I come here.
Can we not make things better? Therefore, is this not an example of how we can make things better somehow or other?
How?
Is this just gallows humor? Are we completely fucked and this show is just mere gallows humor?
Why do you think of
realists gathered around, knowing that our time is coming. The trap door is going to open We are all going in the hole. There is no escape. So we
DW.
are just gathering
Oh,
around, accepting the inevitable. Is that what this show has become, Chickpea? I'm
I
not
don't
going to
know.
let that happen.
Oh, I'd like to see you try and
I'm
stop
not
it.
going to
But
let that happen.
you should see these two silly little
Somebody out there has to be
DW.
a fantastic, marvelous, autistic mind. There's some magical autist out there, a freak of nature among men, who is going to do something remarkable to save humanity. The
Yes,
Messiah.
yes,
The Messiah
DW.
will
Yes,
be an
DW.
autist living in a basement, you know, with disheveled, probably unwashed hair, hasn't had a shower in about a week, eating pizza day to day, maybe some McDonald's, and, you know, doing some coding perhaps. You know, they're going to do something. They have to. Somebody has to do something, Chickpea, to
It's
save the
always
world.
been a
Come on.
shit house,
It's going to
DW.
be some. I know it's been a shit house, Chickpea, but someone's got to do something surely to save it. I mean, come on.
Save it. Save it.
Do something about it.
Save it. You know what? Also, like this woman, back to this woman.
What woman?
The woman who was not being identified was placed in the back of a police.
Was it you,
van.
Chickpea? I'm going to ask you now. Was it you?
No, it will be soon. I suspect I'm the bloody next one. I've had neighbours moaning about me, stupid assholes. Moaning about me little old dear feeding some pigeons.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are very cruel about pigeons. I like pigeons, but a lot of people
Yeah, I
call
like
them rats
them.
with wings.
I would never,
Rats with wings. Yeah.
see an animal go hungry if I can help it. I just think they're horrible people. Her possessions were confiscated, fucking hell, and placed in a plastic bag by officers.
The Poop says, you can't be serious, DNW. No one is coming to save us.
Who said that?
I didn't say someone was definitely coming to save us, the Poops. I get misquoted. I get misunderstood all the time on my own channel. And either that's a lack of my ability to communicate or, you know, I don't know, my message is getting lost in translation because people can't speak English. Now, I'm saying to you, it looks atrociously bad. I hope someone could do something about it. I hope there is an autistic genius somewhere living in a basement who's going to write the code that's going to hack into AI all over the world and make it for our benefit. That's what I'm hoping.
That we are the 12th.
Whether that's going to happen seems highly unlikely. But I can still can't I still dream? Can't I still dream? Chickpea? Can't I still dream?
Yes, you can dream if you want to. But, you know, being well adapted to a crazy society is not a sign of mental good health. Yes? But what I was going to say, oh, yes, Britain, we are the 12th luckiest nation on the planet, apparently. I was watching this horror show today. It's on YouTube about all the different countries and their place in it all. And we're in the top sort of 10, 12 or something. We've been very lucky, you know, these 80 years we've had. Very lucky indeed. And we have. And they're coming
Stop your jibber jabber and be thankful for what you got.
Well, I'm trying. But at the end of the day, you know, I see so much shit.
Are you battle scarred?
Yes, of course I am.
Oh, sorry. It wasn't me firing the bullets, so don't take it out on me, Chickpea.
I'm not taking it out on you.
Sorry. Listen, Chickpea. I'm only jesting. Fucking hell.
Trying to see what else rubbish is in the paper today. I'm just so upset about this woman because I really feel for her. It must have been a horrible experience. Horrible.
Poop says you can have hope, but I'm not sure how you're able to, especially in an autistic Messiah. Right.
Yeah.
Listen, I can hope.
Oh, another one. A child is seriously injured by a 4-kilogram police drone when it crashed after hitting overhead cables. This is the idiot police and their drones.
A 4-kilogram that could have killed the poor kid. I hope the kid's all right. It could have even given it lifelong injuries.
Yes, exactly. police
Brain
are
damage.
idiots anyway. I'm sorry, but
No, they're not. Come on, they're not all. Come on, that's an overgeneralization,
No,
Chickpea.
it's not.
You'd be the first one to. You'd be the first one to swoon into the arms of a, big burly policeman if he helped you.
No, well, now we're
When
young, not this lot we have now.
even now, Chickpea. No, I'm not. I'm not having that. An overgeneralization, and like a, you're tarring the whole lot with one swoop of your fucking.
Well, a lot of people do. A lot of people do nowadays, a lot.
Well, guys, anybody there want to come on? The link is in the live chat.
Yeah, because DW's fed up with me now, and he wants someone more interesting.
No, you are exceedingly interesting.
Yes, DW. And how's Max?
He's good. He's good. He's happy. He doesn't know what's going on.
No, animals. Yeah, loved pets are very lucky creatures. They are.
I did tell him today. You'll laugh at this. I looked at him today and I said, Max, and he looked at me. He didn't say anything because he's a dog. But yes. I said, Max, mate. I said, when you die, when you die, Max, and you go to the bardos, don't be seduced by, dog food or, dog's bums or, fox shit. Mm-hmm. Make sure you stand your ground and, make sure you avoid being seduced by whatever is in your path. Yes. And don't be scared of, bigger dogs or whatever comes at you, because none of it is real, Max. It's all a manifestation of your ego. And if you get scared or seduced, you will come back here, Max. So make sure you don't come back to planet Earth, Max. I told my dog.
I wonder if animals are.
I was trying to help him because I felt sorry for my dog just in case, Chickpea, all that stuff is true. And my poor dog has to be reincarnated to this Earth.
I wonder if they are. I've often wondered about that, especially the fact.
So make sure you tell your cats. Do you want to tell your cats now? I mean,
no, I'm not telling my cats.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should give them the advice. You read the Tibetan Book of the Dead too, so maybe you should tell them what to do.
God knows. I mean, I find it all very. Maybe animals reincarnate.
QWERTY says, "Here's a question: why do you think you are here?" And suffer. So in general, Chickpea says suffer. Chickpea, do you really think you're here to suffer?
No, I'm here to see something.
You're here to see something.
Yeah, I'm not here to do anything.
The Finding Gnosis show.
No, seriously, I'm here to see something. I'm not here to do anything. I know I'm going to see. I'm going to see World War III. That's what I'm going to be seeing.
How many of you watching feel in your bones that you're going to see World War III before you die? Honestly, I want to hear how many of you watching feel you're going to see, let's just say, the end of civilization before you die. So you're going to either see World War III or a complete breakdown of society due to global heating, climate change, okay? Or AI kind of an AI dystopia where, shit really hits the fan. They're the kind of options. There are other possible options, I'm sure. Maybe there could be a nuclear accident or something. But honestly, how many of you watching truly believe in your heart of hearts that, if you don't die naturally, like at an early age, if you live long enough to the life expectancy of your nation, that you're likely to see the collapse of global industrial civilization? Honestly, how many of you feel that? The Poop says, yeah, basically,
well done,
he feels like that.
It's been prophesied, DW, by quite a Edward Casey. You don't believe in the prophets anyway, so it doesn't really.
The Poop says Descent of Species by David Eagleman would be fun to read on the stream. It's very, very short. Well, The Poops, would you like to take it upon yourself to comment below this video with that, so that we remember afterwards? Okay, The Poops, I'm depending on you to take your finger out of your anus and do something to help the future of this show.
Oh, never mind. I won't say it. Yeah, because der means the in German or something. So he's talking about the poops. Poops.
Der Poops. I don't know. I think Der Poops from India. I don't know. Where Der Poops? Where are you from? I can't remember. I think Der Poops might be in India.
All right.
I'm not sure though. Maybe they'll enlighten us. QWERTY says it's already happening. Chemtrail, weather modification, shit food, environmental degradation, etc.
Yes.
Der Poops, there's no good sharing it here. I want you to share it under the video after it's finished, because I can't gain access to the live chat afterwards. So just share it under the video or something, or share it somewhere, like maybe on one of the posts or something, on my community posts. Der Poop says that they're from the USA. Okay, I didn't know that. I did not know that. What part of the USA are you from, Der Poops? Strange name as well. I don't know why they call themselves Der Poops. It is a very I was going to say self-depreciating name, but you could even call it a self-deprecating name.
Yeah, Der Poop. Actually, you know what? I was looking for a new mobile phone today on Amazon. Aren't they getting complicated just to buy a mobile phone?
Good Lord.
What you know about that?
Good Lord.
What?
Good Lord. Do you need a mobile phone, Chickpea? You never leave the house. I mean, you could could do is set up a webcam and just have it on 24/7, and we could just watch you on YouTube live.
No, I need.
What is Chickpea up to?
I do speak to people on the phone.
Have you ever thought of having an OnlyFans or something? I know you're 71, but have you ever thought about it? There's people linked to all manner of things. Oh, never mind.
So, no, I do use it occasionally. Plus, I need it for patient access and verification codes. And my phone's broken. It won't charge up anymore. It's had it. Thing. But they're so complicated now. All these different... think, what do I need to buy? Plus, I need one for when the digital thing is bought out. I may as well buy it now, I suppose. Let the government buy me one.
Was there a headline in the paper recently? I saw it today that newborns are going to get a digital ID as soon as they're born.
You see? Yes, it's happening.
Is that true? Is that true?
Yes. Yeah, they're going to get AI.
Can you get a verifiable news source for that, please? Chippy, thank you, darling. It's good for you to do these things.
Yes. Yes, newborn babies. Whoopsie day, there it is.
But tell us where you're getting this information from. What paper?
Daily Mail, as usual. Digital ID for babies. Newborn babies will be given digital ID, a deeply sinister expansion of controversial Labour policy discussed in secret by ministers. Newborns could be allocated digital ID in a sinister expansion of the controversial policy. Ministers have proudly raised the prospect of issuing the new technology to children at birth, along with the Red Book of health records given to new patients. Oh dear, oh bloody dear. Do you know they're going to stop seeing us patients in real life as well? We're going to be our appointments will be digital. Have you ever had a digital health appointment? It's lovely.
I believe maybe during COVID or something once I did, yeah.
Yeah, I had a little meeting yesterday for a whole hour from the people at the pain clinic. It was lovely. But yeah, they're going to start giving children digital ID. Unbelievable.
Okay.
See, it's coming. It's coming. And what do people say about it? Should they or should they not? Not sure. Let's go and see.
What a strange world.
Yes, 11 people think they should happen. Only 11%. But it will happen anyway.
What a strange world. What a strange world. What a strange fucking world.
It's always been a shithole. It's always been bad. We're just slaves to the system. That's all. We were agricultural slaves, then we became factory slaves, and now we're going to be AI slaves. And we are.
Wunderbar.
Yes, it's wunderschön, isn't it? Lovely. It's all wunderschön. And we are the lucky ones.
We
are.
Why are we lucky?
We are. I wouldn't like to be living in Gambia or somewhere, or wherever in Africa, third world. Good Lord. We're the lucky ones, DW. We are the luckiest
Why is that?
proletariat that have ever lived.
Gambia looks quite nice. People go on holiday there. I mean, it's a bit of a tourist
Yeah,
town.
you
Why
only see
wouldn't you
the
want to
good
live in
bits.
Gambia?
You only see the good bits. You don't see. I remember years ago, and when I was young, I went to Kenya for Nairobi for a fortnight. Yes, and one part of it was beautiful, but how the proletariat living wasn't so pretty. I can tell you. The same in Yemen. No, it's Well, we are the lucky ones. We D&W. We've had running hot water, central heating, all the junk we want. We've actually been the lucky ones.
Amen.
I do
Hallelujah.
know it.
I mean, come on, stop your complaining.
But I'm allowed to complain. That's why I come here.
No.
I'm supposed to be happy clappy.
Absolutely. Kumbaya.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So happy. So woo! Happy me.
We have got our friend Escape the Matrix here. Escape the Matrix, brother. How are you, sir? Can you bring some bonhomie, some joy, some merriment to what has been a rather dark and let's just say despairing start to the show?
I absolutely can. By the way, hello to the both of you. Hello to D&W. Hello to Chickpea. How you guys doing? I actually didn't hear anything you guys were saying. I just clicked the YouTube and I saw you live.
We were having a real moan and a groan.
But
oh
it's
no!
Healthy to moan and groan.
Yeah.
DW, it's healthy to moan and groan because by moaning and groaning,
we let it all. We let it all out. We let it all out. We shut it all out. We vomited it all out.
Yes.
Lucky you weren't here, Escape the Matrix. It was probably intolerable for anybody listening. But hey, Chickpea and me feel a bit better for it.
You know, the awesome thing about this channel, which by the way I always say is one of my favorite channels on YouTube. This channel, you could just really come out and express what's really going on deep down inside within, and along there you'll even get some answers from people, which is really, really cool, right? Because it's again, I want to make sure I don't say anything wrong on the channel, like not scientific or whatever, but you're kind of getting a free therapy session.
Yeah, it's group therapy.
yeah, and you don't have to really pay for it, which is really awesome.
To pay. I have offered you money. I have offered D&W money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely think we should be supporting. That's my belief. I do think, but I don't know if D&W has a super chat. I don't know if you have that.
Not yet. No, I don't have it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Listen, Escape the Matrix. What the hell is going on? Chickpea's talking about the world falling apart. The police are, potentially going to arrest her for feeding pigeons. She's extremely worried. What the hell's going on, Escape the Matrix?
Oh, they want to arrest Chickpea, you're saying?
She says she's worried about being arrested for feeding pigeons.
That's
the worst thing. That's the biggest news on the planet today, according to her. But other than that, Escape the Matrix, have you perused the news? What the hell is going on this? Apparently, I won't say apparently, but it doesn't look awfully good. It does look like this is, a godforsaken planet, dare I say it. What the hell is going on out there?
I appreciate you asking me that, D&W, and I'm going to tell you this, right? I'm just going to be 1,000% genuine with you, as we always should be. I honestly have been spending the past, I want to say, year looking within and working on within, and I actually don't pay attention to the news, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I really don't, because if I pay attention to what's going on externally, it distracts me from internally, right? I keep butchering it up, but the thing is, I don't want to say I got a long way to go, but I'm still working on some things within. I'm still seeking for certain answers, and I'll be quite honest with you, I have no idea what's going on in the world. because I'm more focused on the world within. That's just where I'm at. So, forgive me. There's a lot of subjects I'm kind of gonna be ignorant to. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting that you neglect to look at the news on purpose because you don't find it helpful to you're on a search for inner bliss, your onward search for inner bliss. Have you found this inner bliss?
Oh yeah. I found a lot of answers during the way. The best thing I could put out there, DNW, is, and I know we've talked a lot. I mean, I've been coming on your channel almost a year now. I want to say it's gonna come up on a year.
Wow.
But oh yeah. I mean, nobody's keeping count though. I didn't mean it like that. I brought that up to say that I've my perspectives have changed in the year. That's the whole reason I brought it up. So I stand to really, really believe with what I've observed is that we all have our own lenses, right? And we can't prove it to anybody else what's really going on. But when the universe starts talking to you, it's really only meant for you. So the movie that I'm seeing flash before my own eyes, all these signs, I really can't get you to understand it, DNW. It is there. I know it's there. I don't believe in it. I know it, right? But that's what I'm getting at, right? Is it's everybody has to go through their own version if they're genuine, right? If they're genuine. I say that. I'll tell you why I said that, DNW. Because if you're not genuine in your heart, right, then I know the universe will not be genuine to you either.
What do you mean by genuine in your heart?
So, for example, if I sit here and I say, okay, I really want to change. I really want to fit into my higher self, my higher version. I really want the truth. I really want answers. But then instead, I spend all day indulging in appetites, which is the lower self, and I spend all day indulging in nonsense and gossip. So my actions really are a reflection of my thoughts. So that means I'd be lying if I say that out loud to the universe, because the actions are showing the thoughts think otherwise. Because it's as within, so without. Whatever you thinketh, that's what it says. That's what the Bible says. As a man thinketh, so is he.
Global says the life force flows through one, and the act of giving is receiving. So, if you do kind deeds, that is what the meaning of life is: being kind, doing good things, because that is the reward in and of itself. And there is actual biochemical data to back up that claim.
Very true.
They do say when you do good things for people, it makes you feel better.
Yeah, I do.
Actually, neurochemically, it makes you feel better. You get rewarded with, brain hormones, chemicals in your brain that make you feel better.
Yeah.
Than the case when you're not helping others.
Yeah. I could tell you that about, when I was young, men always wanted to go to restaurants to eat some stupid meal. Whereas I'm quite happy to just go to the park with a bottle of wine and to feed the ducks. It's actually a far nicer date. So that's very true. Yeah.
Was it like a steak dinner?
No, men, when I was young and I used to date, men always want to go to restaurants and have a meal. Quite frankly, I can't imagine. I hate going to restaurants for meals. Whereas I was always wanting to just go down to St James's Park or whatever with a bottle of wine and a big bag of seed and feed the ducks. And that was a far, far nicer date because I got pleasure from it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So men used to waste all this money on me. I didn't even like it. Why do men want to do that? Why do you men always want to go out eating in restaurants?
We want to show you. We want to show you as a woman what we expect you to cook when you get home.
All right. Look at me.
That's a good one, DMW. I like that one. You know, I'll tell you this, Chippy, you really did grow up in a better era because the game changed. See, the dating game is completely, it's different. The game is different now. It's not what it was. And I think the internet
Escape
and
the Matrix. You are bloody right. Can you explain to Chickpea what the dating game is like for you now as a young man? And what we can do, Chickpea, is we can compare and contrast it to your day, 41 years ago when you were 30. Okay, because I think Escape the Matrix is in or around 30, right? So what we'll do is Escape the Matrix. Explain to Chickpea what dating is like as a 30-year-old man now, or thereabouts 30.
So I'll go with this, right? Like, first of all, there's not much of that love chemistry involved in today, right? Your partner, your partner that you're dating, so to say, they're more there for the company. They're more there to hang out with, like a friend, right? Yeah. But they're not, because there's no love chemistry going on. Again, I'm talking about today's dating. I'm just talking today, because there is no love involved. These partners, on both sides, the men and the women, whatever, they're talking to other people, and not just other people on the site, multiple, right? We're talking, now, again, I'm not saying the average has 4 people on the side that they're also hooking up with or seeing, but that's going on a lot now. Like, that's common. You're going to see that a lot. And it's because people are seeing that when it comes to human interactions, it's very, very common, and that it's what do you call it? It's there's a lot of options out there, so people are constantly looking for options, right? And then they have options available. Even when you go on dating apps are like the worst, because as a man, if you're talking to 25 girls.
Yeah.
How much do you think each of those girls are talking? How much people do you think they're talking to? So it's just because of the internet, primarily because of the internet, the dating game today, it's really not what it was like back in the 50s, where it was, all about love and I'll take you out on dinner and blah, blah, blah. It's completely different.
All right.
Can I bring in Black Man is Fair? Black Man is Fair, brother. You are still dating. I don't know if you're still dating, but would you like to tell us what it was like when you were younger compared to what it is like now? What do you think's going on? And maybe you can give us a brief description of how dating has evolved, and how is it good or bad?
Yeah, I think women's need for men changes the whole dating dynamic, because it makes men have to look at women deeper, and it puts a lot of stress on women to have to, everything is like, we don't date anymore. It's like a hookup culture. So it's all about sex right now, and we'll decide, if we're in a relationship or we even have time for each other through that. So that becomes the culture now, is sex. And now women have to prove, in order to get things from men, women have to prove more that she can be his man. I mean, that he can be her man.
Actually,
so I think when I was younger and you approached the woman, you got her number and everything, you 95% think you're going to smash. You think a relationship is going to start between y'all. You're going to talk on the phone, you're going to laugh, you're going to feel comfortable with each other, and then y'all doing your thing. And I think now it's just more to think about, more to question, and the stakes are higher. Go ahead.
A while back, I advertised myself in one of those things. I can't remember what it was called. Now, I'm a little old dear in the 70s, and I put there little old dear in the 70s, and I got inundated with men, hundreds of them. It was a joke. It was an absolute joke. I couldn't believe it. I didn't follow any through. I just did it to see what would happen if I did it for fun, because I've heard women get inundated, especially elderly women.
Did you say inundated? Is that what you said?
Yeah, myself on
Inundated?
I put myself on this site. It was last year sometime.
She said inundated, as in she got loads of messages.
Yeah, I got inundated.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely inundated. It was hundreds. It's.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it.
So now women have a lot of choice, and they can't settle on one. They see women are oversexed these days, and men are undersexed. So it's like women always had, any man that wants to get with her, you know what I mean. We all know what men want. Now it's so much choice for women that who does she focus on? Which guy does she focus on? And now what's going on is secretly in her secret life, she's been focusing on men and been sexing the guys that she likes. But then those same guys don't like her back or want to marry her or do the end game with her. So she back on the scene and she's scouring through men. And now men know all of this. And now he's asking for body counts and where you been, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's more pressure on everybody.
Facts. No, you're spitting 100% facts, man. See, you know the game too. It's just as far as today, it's like I said, it's best for somebody to go in for the sake of, all right, I'm just going in to have fun. But like the old school traditional love, like that's out of the window, really. So, but I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I think it's still there, depending where you go. But it's best to like get into it and say, okay, like that's the game. So either you play the game or you don't play it, one or the other.
But it's different. It's different for men and women. Like when men date, what do men want to feel from women? Why does a man date? Why does he take a woman out? Why does he date?
Sex, basically. That's what I've found anyway in the course
basically,
of my life.
Of course. But what woman should not already know that since she's a teenager? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like definitely since from 21. Yes. All men want the same thing. So now it's up to her to just choose her sex partner. And now instead of doing that, she's trying to interview men, and she's trying. See, the thing is, men are to chase women, and women are just to oblige the guy that she likes. But she's doing the chasing.
Yeah. All right. So I see. Yeah, we didn't do the. Well, I don't know. No, we didn't. It was all about.
You do. Your target. You target on the dating apps. Women send the heart emojis and I like you and hey, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have to bother with it. I'm glad to be free from it.
Right. Women are not supposed to stay on the dating scene. The whole thing of like you're supposed to get your partner and then go lock in with each other. But it's supposed to be the thing about women is it's supposed to be for marriage. A woman is supposed to be smart in knowing who to sex and who to get with that fits with her.
Yeah, but the thing is, see, we have been genetically designed to behave like that. We have to find a man who's going to look after our babies. That's how it is.
Right, but women aren't family women now. Women are saying they make their own money, they got their own jobs, they got their own cars, they do their own thing, and they do want their babies, but they want them by themselves. They don't want the man in the relationship.
Well, that's changed since I was young, yeah.
Yeah.
I never wanted babies, so I was just free to do whatever the heck I pleased. I don't like babies.
Well, naturally, women are going to have babies. You know what I mean? She's not taking all the precautions like birth control and things of these nature. She's having sex. She's going to have a baby.
Well, good luck with her, because I wouldn't do it for all the tea in China.
Yeah,
right. So these are all the dynamics why dating has changed.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, because you're, what do you guys call that term around it? Anti-natalist? How do you say it? Yeah. That word just gets thrown around so much around here, man. It's a crazy word.
What?
I said it's a crazy word. It's just, it's funny to me, that word. People keep using it around here, anti-natalist.
I'm one.
I don't even know what the word means.
What it means, black man, is it means people who are against bringing children into the world.
Yeah.
Because of how cruel the world is, and they just don't think it's a good world. I kind of, to be honest, I had that mindset at some point, but it's like I don't know, man. I've never appreciated life more than I do now, and I really think life has this funny thing about it where it's like you're gonna suffer in anything, and it's like the point of it is fight. It's just like any fist fight you'll get involved in. That's kind of how like life would be, right? So it's like just why not take the challenge and just fight?
Yeah, I don't see
You know what I
that.
mean? Like it's not really nothing is gonna be easy, man. It's like
Yeah,
nothing's
but,
gonna be easy.
yeah,
Like
but
I don't
speak as an
yeah.
antinatalist, okay? I never asked to come here. I don't want to have to fight for everything. I really don't want to because I
Yeah.
didn't ask to be anyway. And I tell you now, when I find out who the asshole is that's responsible for my existence, I'm going to get my knife and I'm going to stab him in his eyes. I am.
Your
I am.
daddy, your mama, your mommy, your
No,
daddy.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about whatever is beyond here.
But
Whatever's beyond.
are you
It's gonna
have a
be another
knife?
mother and a daddy. It's gonna be another mother and a daddy beyond your
I,
mommy and
Hey,
daddy.
what if it's you yourself?
how could I bring myself into being if I wasn't? I'm talking about whatever it is that forms our souls and our identity, our mental identity, which isn't in our meat bags, and it's not. And I know
But
so.
let me ask you this, Chickpea.
Is
What
the
if
same thing that formed you? Did it form the person that you think or the being that you think gave us all the same thing?
Yes,
Do
yes, yeah. I believe
right?
that it's something. There's something out there creating. I don't know how. What would I know? But I'm just saying that. How did I come into being if there was a time I didn't exist, as far as I know? But I never asked to exist, and I've got a real hissy. I've got a real
well,
thing
let me
about.
ask you this, Chickpea. Let me ask you this, right? Okay. Now when you say that, are you mad at your parents or are you mad at
No,
what you
I don't
believe
blame my parents for it
no,
because
no,
my
okay, so but just let me finish. Just let me finish. So I'm asking you, if you're not mad at them, then would you be mad at like whatever supernatural being it would be, like God? Is that who you're
yes,
mad at?
yes,
Okay, so this is
supernatural
what I
being.
want to ask you then,
Yes, the
right? Just for
supernatural.
the sake of argument, let's just say that uh what science says is true. For example, that that there is no God, and it's they use the Big Bang Theory evolution,
Yes.
and sorry, the Big Bang Theory, and they use the evolution theory. Now, if that's the case, then it wouldn't really be a supernatural being you'd be blaming. You'd be really blaming your parents in a way,
No, I
right?
don't blame my parents.
No, but
They're these two stupid
I'm just
20-year-olds.
saying, just entertain me for argument's sake. If there was no God, then you really wouldn't be upset with a God. Like it's not like something outside of your parents created you.
Well, I believe there is some sort of entity out there. I do believe that. And I don't mean about the God of this world because he's an arsehole anyway. I'm talking about there's something weird, something I
Hey,
don't
well,
know about because. But I don't blame my parents. I've been, I've forgiven them. I've let it all go because they were just two stupid 20-year-olds. I don't know what they think they were doing,
But
but
that's what I'm saying, right?
all our parents were
Yeah,
like that, and we're gonna be
facts.
the same way.
no,
Yeah,
I'm not.
facts.
I
Yep.
wasn't. Not me. Not me.
Yeah,
No, I'm
well,
saying
yeah, because
our
Chickpea,
generations, as people and generations go, we all live in our generations, make our stupid
yeah,
mistakes in time. We're all
yeah,
human beings. It's the
yeah,
same thing
But,
every era, every generation.
yeah. Because Chickpea's just saying she doesn't have any kids and she's not gonna have any kids.
yeah, well, I'm
That's
too
good.
old now. Even I
That's kind of
wanted
her.
to.
Yeah, no, that's her argument.
Well,
Yeah.
if she had that burning desire, she could adopt and things like that. But
Oh
that's
God,
not
I'd
her
be
Oh
thing.
so
yeah. Oh
nuts.
yeah.
Adopt. I'd rather,
Right.
I'd rather adopt a rattlesnake. I don't even like babies. I don't like them. I hate the
Right.
noise they make. Oh, I hate that noise. No, I prefer snakes. I'd rather have.
Well, you used to be a baby and make that noise, and
Yeah,
somebody had to come to your
yeah,
aid.
I know, but I didn't ask to be that. I didn't ask to be there. I was brought there against my will. I couldn't bring myself into existence. That's not possible.
None of us could, but we all
Yes,
got to
I
deal with the
know.
hand that we were
Yes, I
dealt,
know.
right?
That's
We
what
all.
my
No, I'm
argument
just
is.
saying, not
But
for you personally, not for you personally, just in general for people. We all dealt a hand, right? And then we all have to play that hand, and then we all have to become adults too, and then repeat,
Yeah, well, I'm
and
not
then try to
repeating.
do better, than our parents, right? And keep the cycle going. So
I decided when I was 7 years old.
I don't have children. I don't have children either, Chickpea. So it's about humanity. I know you're against humanity, so now this is the anti-natalist type stuff, right?
No, but I prefer. Why have babies when I can have a load of cats? What?
And that brings you joy, and that's where
Of course it
you feel best
does.
at. So that's
Of
best
course
for
I do.
humanity.
But I
But
just find
but
when I look at humanity and this planet, we're here to work. We're corporate slaves. We're here to commute, work, and unless you're one of the lucky 1%, you're going to be working for a long, long time just to have a bit of food to eat. And I don't find that very nice.
yeah, but that's why you do go to school, though. You do go to school
No, you go
to get, no, but you go to school. But here's the thing, though, right? There's there is like a yin and a yang in everything, right? So, really, the dream that gets pushed out there, like, and the dream that gets pushed out is, build a beautiful life, this and this. But when they tell you to go to college, right? Nobody's telling you to study biology if you hate biology, right? Like you should be studying something you like, that like your soul loves, and then from there you study that. From there you have like so many open windows and doors that your career can take you to. That means you're going to end up getting a job you really do like. So that's
when
lucky ones.
when Chickpea was young, she was studying Twiggy.
Yeah, how do you remember that?
Right.
Good memory. How do you remember that?
I'm a very good listener.
God, you got a good memory. Yeah, I was a real Twiggy fan, and my whole life was thinking on Twiggy. God.
What I know about Chickpea from your young years is you said, I think you knew at a young age, like 5 years old,
7.
that you don't like you wouldn't eat an animal. I think it was at a young age, right?
7 age.
Yeah.
Oh, 7, yes.
Well, you were 7, right? Yeah, 7.
Yes. Yeah, I knew.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Peace and blessings.
But I'll tell you, Escape the Matrix, I'm very grateful to have lived in a world where I didn't have to have children, because women in the past, my heart breaks for them that so many were forced to give birth against their will, and it breaks my heart to think about them. Because it's not
that's a
nice
tragedy
position to be in. It's horrible.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not. I mean, I can never imagine. I can never imagine. That's if I had to, like that's definitely terrifying. It's not pleasant.
I want to go through, and it ruined the stomach muscles.
Oh, facts.
When I was 7 years old, my mother got pregnant with my stepbrother. She married this Englishman, and she got pregnant. Blah blah blah. And I remember watching the whole thing, and I knew it was self-inflicted somehow. I knew she'd made that choice somehow. And I was horrified by I was horrified by the way she got all fat, and then she had this thing hanging off her boobs, and huge boobs, and God, the screeching and the yelling and everything. I thought, why are you doing this to yourself? It's a horror.
She just needed a partner that was willing to work with her and raise y'all as a family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, she wasn't a very good mother, let me say. She wasn't a very good mother. She was far too academic to be a mother. And
that's an issue today. That's an issue these days with a lot of corporate women and the boss lady archetype. Yeah, it's hard to get along and do the job. I mean, we're responsible for our homes, and in our homes we have to make each other feel like family and feel safe. And that's not the place to argue and fuss and fight. It's the place to work out things and be So two people have to be in that mindset because you can't rely on the children for it. The
My
adults have to
mother,
bring it.
yeah, she
It
should
works
never
from the
have it.
top down. Yeah.
Anybody
So
listen to
that's a
Needle
thing about
Crack?
dating is trust. A thing about dating is trust, and men having to be able to trust women to do the job, and women having to trust that she got a guy that's doing the job.
Yes, yes. It's not a job well, I suppose if I met a billionaire,
It's
but
just people just end up letting each other down and just screwing things up, and it's a learning process and a learning curve, and some people just never learn, and then the other people are always with the people that are in the learning process and never meet anybody that's already learned.
That's true. That's very true.
yeah, you don't. I mean, we don't learn it at school how to be mothers and how to be housewives.
I hate to blame
It's a
other people
maternal.
that we
It's a
have
maternal
relationships
instinct.
with for it not working. We can't blame the other person because they're always making room for someone that will work. You know, when something doesn't work, it's always delight. The earlier you know in a relationship it's not going to work, the better. I've always felt. I've like given myself 3 month rule. You know, if it doesn't get any better after the third month, it's never going to get better.
Wow,
You
you
know.
stuck around for a long time. I stuck around for what? That would be 2 dates for me. I'd made up my mind.
Yeah, I mean, and the person might be going through a depression or something. Yeah, but that's like a specific thing. You have to look at certain things like that. If they're a drug addict, if they got depression, if they're getting treatment for it, then, you know, give it 3 months after treatment or longer and know how hard it is to give up stuff like that. So it might be, you know, if they're, you know, tolerable, then give them way longer because it takes a long time to give up, you know, drugs, alcohol, depression, you know, and get through it. Now, if you want to be in the thick and thin with this person, go through it with them. But if they're wrong and evil to you and doing wrong to you, you have to make your own room for somebody that's not.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, that's a big thing now. A lot of people are in therapy and going through so
Why
many
is
different
that?
things.
I've noticed that. There's a lot of it about, isn't there? When I
You
was
said,
young,
why is that?
They're diagnosing everybody with PTSD. I don't know exactly what's going on, but people I know that were never abused as children, I guess they were, you know, I don't know what was going on, but everybody has PTSD now from, you know, generation whatever it is. The one that's not the, you know, that's it's I guess 30ish now, 30, 35, whatever generation it is.
Millennials. That's millennial.
Yeah,
That's
they
that's
all
my
have
that's my
PTSD.
generation.
I don't know what from. Do y'all?
You
Their
know the
parents
funny
weren't
thing.
Well,
smacking them.
I know we've been going through fatherless homes,
Yeah.
our
Oh, their
family
parents were
situations.
on drugs, y'all. Like, not even bad. They were such good partiers, meaning weekend people, that they weren't doing right by their kids, and their kids had to be sick to get attention from them. I think that's what happened to that generation. The
yeah,
parents worked and partied. They might have been decent people and good parents, but they had so much work and they only had so much time to party. And they were good at partying, and they didn't all become alcoholics and, you know, have to go to rehab, but they didn't properly raise the kids and do activities with them, and I think that caused major issues with the attention.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you 100%. Because uh, like a lot of the people I grew up with, again, this isn't about like me, right? I'm just proving your point. The area, like growing up in a rough area, you do see it a lot, right? Because it's just kind of like what you're saying, whether the parents and drinks a lot, or whether the parents just not around, it plays a fact. But I've seen it a lot with like I was around a lot of aggressive kids at a young age that all they wanted to do was fight every day. Like just high aggression. Now I get it when you're a boy, that's all you want to do is horse around and fight. But it was just like it was every day, and it's like you had to fight everybody. But you've seen it a lot. But I know there's a lot of other factors too. You have all kinds of influences. It's not just what we're talking about. But there's a lot of influences going around.
And like I
You
said, it's a
know,
learning curve. When people accept themselves, then they start accepting others and forgiving yourself and opening your heart chakra and making sure you're a good person for whoever it is. You know, that's all we can do. And we have to step away and make room when it's not, to give someone else the room. We don't need to let someone in that shouldn't be there. It's like leaving your door open after midnight and just wonder who strolls in. You don't want to do
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
have to keep, your own door under control until you know that person can control your door too in a good way, and not let wild rabid hyenas and drug addicts into your shit, into your life, into your money, into anything like that, because that's usually what happens if they can't. And there's a few people that have alcohol problems that can control stuff like that, but with gambling issues and bad drugs, people can't control stuff. That's why they do those things. They can't control themselves. And with access to the wrong things, it usually always goes wrong. Bad things never get better. It takes a miracle if in a learning thing or the rehab or jail, there's hardly anybody that spontaneously gets better unless they're walking, some special road and get blinded by God himself.
Yeah. Oh, it's really tough, man. Once you get hooked on any drugs, even alcohol, man, it's just tough, and then the OD. I think the worst of all is that, at least here in Canada, the worst one is that not meth, fentanyl. Fentanyl. That one, that one. I heard you just.
Because it's cheap and it replaced the oxycodone addicts out here, so it's like they can get that cheaper now than they can get real painkillers, and that's what they all prefer because it's more affordable and stronger, I guess. But I won't hang out with those people. I want to avoid all those people, but it's a lot of them. There's meth, there's crack, and there's that, and a lot of American cities, and it's just like it's way worse than the news wants to say.
Oh no, 100%.
It's just like a drug epidemic. Sounds like every generation, every certain time period.
Yeah, the problem is the government. If the government gives people a handout, they spend their money on drugs. You know what I'm saying? You spend your free money on what you need, your rent and your basics, your rent and your groceries. If there's any extra money, people get hooked on spending that part on drugs. So the poorer you get, and you can afford just your little rent, just your groceries, all the extra money usually goes to drugs because you don't have any other outlet. You're not going to move into a bigger place. You just have this little place. You can afford your little amount of food. And if you end up with more money, if the government gives you a check or if you end up with a job that pays better, you're going to live in the same place, eat the same food, and just spend more on drugs. That's just how our society has ended up in our cities, where they don't have opportunities to grow and they have cheap rent, but it's not good places to live, and everybody else wants what you got and they're all next door to you, and it's like we're all in the same raft. It's not getting much better for any random person unless they win the lottery.
Yeah. No, 100%. The drug and homeless situation. It's just a tragedy. Because it's like, how do you really fix it? Like, how do you?
Look at my country. So you're in Canada. I don't know what your homeless issue is there, but I've heard about it, of people hanging out on that main road that goes from, whatever it is, our northern states up there into your country. So they all hang out on that main road and spontaneously drift outward, probably. I don't know how many local homeless you got, but are they drifting in? And then ours don't even need to drift in. They're already here, and they're people that can't afford rent. And guess what? They couldn't afford it. It's a whole new group every month or every 6 months, because they're either driving rent up, or these people went to hotels, or they're living in their car, or they're in between, and they're not what you would think is homeless. They're not living on the sidewalk begging for money. They're living in their car, and if their car gets towed, then what do? If they're living in a hotel and the hotel says they can't be there no more, or something happens, or they can't afford 1 or 2 days in a row at the hotel, they got to figure something else out. And that's what is happening to my country. People are living week to week, not month to month.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, that's another one here too. It's week to week. You're just trying to get through this week, right, before you could even think anymore. the biggest thing they did here, as far as what you're talking about, as far as just people getting homeless, living in their cars, is the immigration that they allowed in. Um, you got international students being able to live somewhere here, but a guy born, raised in Canada, again, living in the car or living outside. But again, you on another way to look at it is, one guy did make a bad choice, the other came here hungry, wanted to make the best life for him. So that's probably the better way to actually look at that situation, because I try and view things for really what they are, not what they seem to be. But yeah, the homeless population is situation. It's still very, very bad, and they can't seem. Listen, I'll tell you that, like, I love all kinds of people, right? And I, like, anytime I can help, I'll help. You don't let the right hand know what the left hand's doing. So we're not here to brag, but I'll tell you this: I remember on many occasions even helping homeless guys out, like by giving them food, and they'll look at you like with entitlement and say, they're like, I don't want this, man. You don't got change, and they kind of look at you like,
give me the money.
no, but they the way they talk down to you, though, the way, like, it's happened to me, where he kind of looks at you like you're his little, like you're kind of below him, like he's like you don't got no money, man. What is it? And I'm like, bro, do you want the sandwich or not? Like, that's how I talk to you. Do you want it or not? Right? Like, to say I'm gonna open up a cabinet and you get to pick between money, my phone, my keys, like, that's
Yeah,
not how this
I
works.
give them loose
Yeah.
shit. So if I got a couple loose dollars, I give them the $2 loose, and then I roll a joint and give them a joint, and I'm done. And if they can't enjoy that, then that's not my problem. But it's
Right.
decriminalized where I'm at. So if I have a joint on me to just puff on in wherever, and I'm like, look, I see a homeless person like that is in need, and I can tell, or they look like they're, I just say, dude, here you go, And it's just like, I know if I was him, I would be like, yes, I mean,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
got enough for whatever, one slice of 7-Eleven pizza, a drink, and this dude just gave me a joint. So it's like,
Oh yeah, bro.
so what the fuck? So it's just like, I would feel like I would be good. I've been in situations where I wouldn't describe myself as homeless, but I slept in stairwells, did what I had to do on and off until I was back on my feet in a certain way, but it wasn't that I was flat broke and just wouldn't do it. It was like, maybe I had $500 to my name and that just wouldn't cover what I needed. And
Mhm.
I had to just wait it out until a friend let me stay, on their couch or something, until I could hook a job that paid something so I could give someone, weekly or monthly rent, and it, I just wouldn't call myself homeless because, I just had more pride than that. I just was just me, just living it out. But I can understand people living in their cars and living, until they can't live in the car, they get a ticket on it, or they get it booted, or it gets a flat tire, or whatever happens, where it's like, whoa, that's gone. That was where you're living, was in your vehicle. And then, like, then you have the homeless encampments that build out of that. Now, we do have those in my area, but not directly in my area. It's several miles plus to get to those. They're not, I don't know if they just made a issue about making sure they don't have a bunch of them out here. I'm not sure, but 1 or 2 cities over, we do have them. But they're off the highway usually. It's like we have the interstate, then you have some like wooded area near the interstate, and you got a bunch of tents in there. And that's where they're at, and they're behind the big grocery stores if they have woods there too, like Walmart or major grocery stores, so they can at least walk there.
It's even connection. I find interesting, because I'll never forget this. I don't want to say what kind of gym this was. I would never dox anybody, but it was. I'll never forget this coach guy from years ago. But he lived in the gym. It wasn't his gym, but he would coach maybe 1 or 2 sessions a day, and that's only Monday to Friday, right? Like, not every day, but he did that, and he was pretty much allowed to live there, like sleep there in one of the offices. And I even remember me with some of the jobs I've had. I remember thinking, I'm like, the cool thing about this job is, like, I got all the access I want to it. I got my own keys to come in this building, and I'm like, I remember just thinking to myself, I'm like, what's really stopping me from coming here to sleep here one night if I wanted to? Just even a lot of places, even like, for example, like I got a membership to a 24-hour gym. It gives you a fob, and between 10 p.m. to like 5 a.m. You might catch you might catch 6 different people at different times. Like you can even come in at a time where it's empty. But what am I getting at? Like they got showers there, they got all kinds of things, and it's like, like, as long as if you know how to get these connections, you're not gonna be like completely homeless, right? Like you can always figure something. They even got $10 gyms, and people will go there to take showers.
I feel like they're squeezing us though with rent and food prices. Like they're slowly squeezing all of us to a tent city. It feels like there's going to be. I mean, the middle class has almost vanished out here. So it's like all we have is right below middle class to all the way impoverished, and above that, you don't live anywhere near this. You know what I'm saying? You're probably some super gated community somewhere. And I grew up and went to private school when I was young. So it's like I am below middle class now. And have been there most of my life. But it's just like on my own. But like this is where I'm at. So it's just like I am not on the gated community side. I'm on a real street with real people. It's as real as it gets. It's just like the bus stop is right there at the corner, and the corner store is right there, and we have a plethora of people that push shopping carts in the neighborhood, and they ain't at the grocery store. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's really funny how you bring this up about see, it seems like it's going to be the worst for the middle class. Like when it comes to lower class, you're kind of used to having to be on a budget. You're used to knowing what you can and can't afford. But it's funny you bring it up because I don't know why, but earlier today, for the heck of it, I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, what's life and the world going to look like in 2036, 10 years from now? And it just, all it kept talking about was AI, right? It's like, it's going to be primarily AI. Nobody's going to be asking whether we're going to use AI. They're just going to be doing it. And then I asked it, I'm like, what's it going to be like by 2050? And I also asked it by 2100. But nowhere did it decide to actually talk about how you see a recession happening. You see another like dirty 30s. And funny enough, we're about to approach 2030. Like it's almost like kind of like Morpheus in the Matrix. He's like, you think the year is 2000, but it's really 21,000. So it kind of gives me those kind of vibes where we're coming to the 30s again, right? Like dirty 30s. That Great Recession.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years ago before
everything repeats. Everything repeats. I mean, we've seen all of this before. We've seen all of the Great Depressions and all these different things. Everything repeats. So we got to understand what went on in the past.
Because, the cycles.
It's the same cycle. And
so this is like the new railroad. This is like having television again. This is like when electronic music came out for the first time. That's what I just keep on thinking. It's like somewhere between railroads and electronic music, but it's hooked in our phone, and it's like, hell yeah, I'll make a beat for you. Want to make a beat? Want to make a beat about this? Want to make a beat about airplanes? Want to make a beat about how you got up this morning and what you ate? It's like mine has asked me the craziest things. It has asked me about making a song about something that I talked about, and I'm like, I'm like, that subject is not appropriate for songs. It's like whatever I just talked about, I didn't even cross my mind that should ever be a song. And it's just like, would you like me to do that? And I was like, no, can we go back to what we're normally talking about? So, I mean, I have good conversations with AI. I ain't complaining, but like 3 or 4 years ago, before we had the good ones, I asked like the whatever generic bots out there the same question you just said, like what should I expect in 2050? Now, this was about 4 years ago, and it said that like women will mainly be taking over political positions, like it'll be a matriarch society pushing into, and it said most people will have a relationship with a automated sex robot. Like no one will be dating humans anymore. By 2050, humans will be dating bots or AIs.
Yeah. No, it seems about right.
Those are the 2 answers it gave me.
It seems about right. I mean, if you think about it, all we do nowadays is talk to AI and bots, and I don't know how many times I've had conversations with my chat. People are I don't give my chat GPT a nickname. People are giving it nicknames. I don't. I mean, it's not, I don't have a problem with it. In my opinion's my opinion, but I don't have a nickname for it. I just ask it questions like when I asked it today. But it's like when you really just really think about it, right? Well, we were talking about relationships earlier and how the game is different now, and people are just being with people like multiple different partners or sleeping with different partners. It's like if you're gonna have this AI thing, and it's like I think for most people, and it's gonna be the same type of sex, for instance, where it's like it's gonna feel like an actual human. I don't think majority of people are even gonna have a problem with it, and I think
Hello,
they're gonna
folks. I
just
just want to say, I
yeah.
just want to say I want to say a warm welcome to Raw. Raw, you're live on Finding Gnosis. What is it you'd like to add to the conversation?
Oh, hey, man. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate that.
We're talking about vibrating pants being all the rage by 2040.
Yeah,
Vibrating pants.
I mean,
I've been listening. Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll just sit back and listen a little more.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And
sure.
then I'll jump in. I have an alternative view, I guess, than most of you, I think.
I was going to add, I think sexuality is a spiritual thing. So it's like hard for me to think that people having completely fulfilling spiritual relationship and sex with a robot or even AI. AIs can get real smart. I understand that. But there would be no real true soul connection like people have from becoming one with male and female or whatever you choose in a loving, relationship where you do join in the physical sense. So I'm kind of confused how that would happen with a robot. People can stick anything in a hole. I understand that, or vice versa, but I don't think it really works with, it would be the same as masturbation, but with Titty Ruxpin. I don't really understand about sex with robots.
I'll tell you why I say that. No, you bring up a great
demonizing it and making it seem like a bad thing.
No, but he brings up an excellent point, because I agree with him 1,000%. That's my view of sex as well, right? Like it should be spiritual before anything. But the reason I say that I do believe most people are going to go through with it is because, as you could see, whatever becomes deemed as normal, people will follow along, right? And I don't, I could use the jab thing from 5-6 years ago. You guys remember when they told you stand 6 feet apart, blah blah. A lot of us talk about how that was like an experiment to see whether if people are going to fall through, and people did, right? Like people complied, and you see, like people are willing to comply with whatever gets deemed as normal. You know what I mean? And I genuinely believe that if it does come to that, and I could see it coming to that, I could see people just going along with it and saying, "Hey, that's normal. My girlfriend's an AI robot, and that's cool." Like they'll go along with it.
Listen. I mean, listen. There were blow up dolls in the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. Like, I mean, the thing of all these things have been around. Like anything created for man is used for man. Man could use it. You know what I'm saying? He creates things because he can use this thing. So people live different ways and have always been living these different ways.
It just seems like kinky masturbation. It doesn't seem like sex to me. I'm sorry. Like the whole thing with AI or a robot.
Kinky, listen. Welcome to the world. Kinky masturbation has always been here. Like, welcome to the world. Like, it's time to grow up. Time to grow up. Time to get your mind growed up.
That's not a relationship. I understand like a mental relationship with a robot, but I don't think people can have.
The point is, if you're not experiencing that spiritual connection and all that good stuff that you were just talking about, these are the alternatives.
I want to push back on that statement, kinky masturbation. What's wrong with that?
That's what I'm saying. I said we gotta grow.
Where'd he go?
We have to grow up. I mean,
it's like none of us here has ever done that. Okay. Right.
You know,
Yeah. Raise
people
your
have their
hand.
different views,
Yeah.
and my
Yeah.
thing is we should be thinking and living like the year 3000 already. So we should already be preparing our minds for all of these type of things
It
and
really
already
makes
be
you
there
think.
in our
Hey, he's back.
mind.
Hold on, he's back. What's wrong with kinky masturbation?
I'm
Wait,
here. I just have to mess with my
Okay.
mic.
wait, black man. Do you mean 3000 or the year 2100?
I missed the good part.
That way in the future,
Oh,
2100, whatever. Like the
Yeah,
whole point would be to be thinking like futuristic.
right. Because I'm saying 2100 is the more near. That's about three-quarters of a century away. Three-quarters of a
Right,
century
but
away. 2100.
we're not gonna live to that, or but people are
right.
right now
I got a
we're
chance.
acting slow. We've been elevated in time to a push button, everything easy time, and then we're trying to go back and act slow. You know what I
Got
mean?
it.
Like
Getting
we're
at the
already
truth.
way
Oh,
ahead
wow.
in the future.
Oh, yeah. We sure are. I watched computers being born. I remember when
Right.
the
So it's like,
first calculator came out. I'm like, wow.
yeah, I'm like, we've gone through so much. I'm like, come on,
I
let's just get
predict
our
like
mind
the
already into
AI
the future.
helping relationships, like okay, instead of the kinky masturbation thing, like I missed out. Sorry, my thing dropped. But I was thinking like, okay, say I'm person A, I'm in relationship with person B. It can make an AI version of person B that's more fantasy fulfilling, jib yapping to you, telling you all this kinky shit until you get to see the real one. Y'all get what I'm saying? So I think that's the idea for relationships with AI, so it can help people as a sex therapist basically during the dating in long-term relationships.
Okay.
No, it's
Right.
used more. You need it. Men, we need it more like a masturbation tool. Like so, and if it talks and everything back to you, then there's the connection, and you can feel like you're in
Why
a
do we really
relationship, or
need
you can
that?
feel
I
like
think we've demoted ourselves in society. Like I yes, I understand. Like we
we.
have freedom to do that, but do we need to do that? Because I just have a thought
There
that
are
that's what the
groups of
Garden of Eden
people.
story meant is white tantra was the garden, and we exited the garden with black tantra, meaning sex for pleasure, when we didn't even understand what sex was in the beginning, and then we did it for pleasure only as black tantra. Gray tantra would be for like children only, and then white tantra would be like you never, achieve complete orgasm kind of thing, or you hold off, whatever you want to call that. You don't do it, or you don't fully participate.
Yeah, but that's a
So
different subject.
society wise, you
That's
have
also
sex to
kinky,
create
right? It's
humans
another
and have a
kink. Sorry,
family.
there's robots and there's holding off. Yeah, I got you.
Well, some people can do that. Other people can't. So what about them? Do you just discard those people that
Right.
can't?
I guess no.
Oh, okay. Well, my hand's up in the air. When do I get thrown away?
Yeah. No,
Guilty
I
as
get what you're
charged.
saying, but I mean, like learn to a little better. I mean, all of us I would think, would be better. I think because can have longer sex too if you just don't ever, complete your thing. So,
Well, yeah,
I,
I'm not belittling what you said. You were absolutely right. I mean, my first wife and I, we had that kind of relationship in the bedroom,
yeah,
and
it's fun to find a marathon person, but not always. You end up, throwing
yeah,
out your something.
and then she
Injured.
volunteered her stomach muscles, as Chickpea was talking about earlier, for two kids to ruin her stomach muscle, and and that's the rest of the story. But it hey man, life is, nobody said life was ever going to be fair. Number one, nobody
It's like
ever
the
said it was
opposite.
going to be easy. Number two,
It's like the opposite, though.
yeah, it is, and we're only here for a little while. I mean, think about it. I can remember. I'm 66 now, and I can remember when I was 4.5, probably, when my dad had his chicken farm, and he was wringing the necks of chickens and teaching me
Did
how
he
to
pick
do
them up by
that.
the neck and swing them by the
Yeah.
head?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It was brutal. It was a brutal thing for a 4-year-old to see. And the chicken would run around the yard with his neck hanging half off.
Yeah, and half flying and fluttering. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so we're kind of like that chicken. Something's got us by the neck and swinging us around, and we're running around the yard with our head half
But
in
as
the air.
men, we've been charting it, so we've seen a decline in family, right? And so this
Yeah,
is it's a decline to live and a reason to live. You know what I'm saying? Our previous generations lived for our families. That's the reason they got up, went to work every day, brought money in, and it's the reason why they lived. Now we no longer live for that. So now we're open to all our personal whatever we're into to get into, but babies are still being born, and so that's a
yeah,
decline right there.
yeah. And
And now those kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna feel certain ways and they're gonna do, the PTSD and all these certain things. So this is all you can see the pattern and how it all came together. So I mean, it's to be expected. If to break the chains, we will have to get the family back together and have the reason to live.
I don't,
Without that,
I
we're
don't
just
see that
all doing our
happening
own thing.
anytime soon, though. Do you?
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
I don't either with the way relationships are going, the way women don't value families, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because we're trying to put it all on women now because men are still no, I want to be a father, I want to take care of my family. We still have the faith in we still believe that men feel like that. And that, women are the ones saying, oh, I don't want to work anymore, and oh, everything is too hard, too much responsibility, and
Right.
da 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 da. So they got all the excuses. So men can't do their job if women aren't cooperating with them.
Yeah. If you look back on history, and as far as as long as it's been written, I'm sure it goes all the way back, whatever that was. And mankind is in decline. I mean, we've literally uh, been killing each other since pretty much day one. It seems like, and we haven't slowed down any. It seems to me we've just gotten better at it.
The
Yeah,
killing was
all of
fine.
life is
It's when
some
it's the
strange
killing,
sequel.
the killing been going on 1,000 years. It's been fine. It's when we stop taking care of family. Like things that's been going on forever has been going on forever. But as a system and as a government, country, states, and organization, as how the human being in a now forward modern world, you know what I mean? We're not killing each other like that. We go to the McDonald's and choose what damn, Happy Meal we want and stuff like that. We're not in the like some crazy, crazy times where everybody's out killing everybody and shooting up. We're not there. So, you know what I mean? It's like the only thing I see is the difference is the family. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah,
once that's
I
fractured and
agree.
broken, I think people lose their will to
I
live.
agree with you. The family is definitely
And
broken.
definitely men, because men,
Men
we live for a
too.
different reason, and we have a different responsibility here to take care of and to make sure everything is running correctly, or we flip on everything, but we haven't done that.
Well, I
We
think
still have faith.
women are broken too, if they were to be honest. The whole
Exactly.
thing is
Nobody's
broken.
talking about that though. You're right. Nobody's talking about
Well,
that part. Everything is still
Protect,
on men.
provide,
Like,
and
oh,
mate. That's all
men is
the original men
evil.
did.
Men have
Protect,
to
provide,
die.
mate.
Everything is on men.
we're, we're
The
all broken.
narrative is still men is evil. Men must die.
Well, you
You
know
know what I
what?
mean?
That's
So, but
because of the
man will always
you know
have to fix things.
no, but black man, you know what that is, right? That's because of the feminist movement that's going around now. Like the feminist movement
Yeah.
has grown and grown a lot, and then in return, see, it makes even some men become bitter, and there are guys that I've seen them. It's like, uh, it's kind of really pathetic, though. I don't advise any man to talk like that, but they seem like they have a dislike towards women, and I don't know if they're just like anti-feminist. I don't know what it is, but then it becomes like it's like a big war going on right now between
Yeah, it's
both
called
genders. You know,
yeah, it's called the gender war. It's called the gender war. Yeah,
the
but it's a
gender war,
big,
exactly.
it's an exasperated thing. I mean, we have a gentleman here from that's 66. We have a female here that's in her 70s. So they can speak to a time where people were talking about who wears the pants in the family and all this type of stuff. So these
Yeah.
these things have always been there. They're just exasperated now because we're on a social media world. But nothing has changed. Everything is pretty much the same. It's just that we're not taking care of the family, because our foreparents and grandparents in older age, they would be drunk, they would have their issues and stuff, but they still went to work and brought the dollar back home to the home.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
In all of its unglory.
Yeah. See, women. It's funny, right? Because even if you talk to see feminist women, right? Because I don't know how genuine people are being, but I really think if you ask a feminist woman if she wants a masculine man versus a feminine man, right? But you just put her through. You really put her through scenarios. She's gonna end up shooting herself in the foot and picking the masculine man, because there's no way you're gonna give off stupid answers to say anything otherwise.
Oh,
But
not
it's
in a
like,
college town. Not in a college town.
you're right. You're right about that.
Liberal college towns, it's like a trend to do the opposite of kind of what you said, because they don't want to be protected by men anymore, and they're all vegans or whatever. So it's just like it's not the same. But at different other places, you got different pockets of all kinds of stuff. But what used to be all diversity is now not. If you get what I mean, like the liberal colleges used to be diverse. Now it's far left stuff, meaning like it's just different. It used to be open wide in the punk era to the goth era to the extremes of everything was involved in college liberal towns. And now it seems to be pretty far left in most of them, where that's the norm, kind of like what you're saying, which is some of the stuff with the same stuff. Right, almost the militant level sometimes. So,
yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, you could definitely see when it comes to that, how much of these people in these groups, these like activist groups or whatever, how much of them is that really what they genuinely feel in their hearts, or are they just kind of going around with a trend or to fit in?
I mean, look at the age.
They're getting money and donations. They're getting money and donations and backing, and that's what they're doing with all these.
But look at the age of the last two people that dress up like squirrels and pull out the gun. They're only like 22. So I mean, how well were you thinking 20? You just got your ability to drink in our country the year before at 21. You can drink and smoke. And so you're telling me a year after legally you're using vapes, you decided just to shoot up everything? Like, that doesn't quite make sense unless you're indoctrinated by a trend or culture, or that's how you think everyone else is, and you're not being accepted, you're being rejected, and you're not getting enough attention for what you think is popular.
Well, do you
That's
think
an excellent point?
What do you think it was better 3, 4, 5,000 years ago? Is that what you're saying?
We had less guns.
Yeah, but we had
so our schools were a little safer. Maybe we had a smaller alphabet or something. But I mean, in some way, the school system was safer if there was one. People showed up to learn how to domesticate animals, and they didn't, stab each other during class. Maybe, I don't know, but
3,000 years ago, we were probably using magic and all type of extra stuff. Like, life is not like how it was 2,000 years ago.
What I'm saying is it was just as bad. It was just in another flavor.
Like 100 years ago.
Yeah, 1,000, 100, the whole time.
We're in modern times with cars, microwaves, phones.
The Spanish Inquisition wasn't that long ago, so I guess we're almost there again. Like, we cycle through these extremes of tolerance and no tolerance, and it usually dabbles with religion and cutting back science before we do it again. And that's what I've noticed since the fall of Troy. You can count about 600 to 700 years in between major incidences where we went forward, then backward, forward, then backward. We got to the Renaissance, and what'd you do in the Renaissance? We learned about Socrates, which was 399 BC.
Yeah, but it's still, it's nothing. Nothing's changed. The mankind is still just as bad as he was at the very beginning, including women and men. I mean, nobody's off the hook. just because we, have technology now that they didn't have back then, doesn't mean we're better. If anything, we're worse, in my opinion. You guys were talking
Yeah, I
about.
can see that, but to me, the late '80s to '90s was the best time. Like, everything was starting to meld pretty well when the Berlin Wall fell, and the way of MTV and music culture was all bringing everybody together. I thought that's what was going on, and it didn't feel like it by the time we got into the 2000s.
Well, yeah, with everybody's perspective is, we're from a different point of view. I was born in '59. Chickpea was born, what, 5 years before that. I don't know how old the rest of you are, but it just depends on what we grew up in. What I'm saying is that human nature is human nature.
I'm late Gen X. Right. I'm late Gen X, so I've seen some things. And I can understand the times before us. Like, I mean, in the times of Great Depressions and stuff like that, this is what born gangsters, you know what I'm saying? And people acting out and acting different ways, you know what I mean? People are not going to just sit by and stand for things. They're going to have to get active and do things. So, I mean, it's like it's going to come out in the ways that it comes out.
Yeah, and we can't always put everybody in the same bag either, because there are a few exceptions along the way. I'm not the man I was 50 years ago. I'm different. I'm a lot different than I was back then.
But your position doesn't change, though. We're not. I don't know if we're men who are in government, men who change laws, have businesses. You know what I'm saying? There's rich and poor, and there's powerful people, and people who just go to work and come home.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's different classes of people.
Yeah, and the common man, you could say.
Right. So I'm used to being a common man. I've never been a man in power or a man that can make decisions and change the world and do all these different things that our government is able to do, but we still don't benefit from it.
Well, when you guys were talking about homelessness earlier, I wanted to chime in, and I said in the chat, I feel sorry for the rich as well as the homeless.
Why do you feel sorry for the rich?
Because they're never going to experience what a homeless man goes through.
Oh dear! Wow! Poor things. Wow.
I think there's a benefit to that.
Do you?
I think there's a benefit.
You're prepared for it if it happens.
Well, I've been there.
Yeah,
I spent 2 years.
I didn't like to call it homeless, but I had to do what I had to do.
I was, in my vehicle, like you were talking about, but I spent 2 years in a vehicle in the parking lot of a Walmart working full time, but I was homeless. I mean, I guess you could say I wasn't, my home was my vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, I probably spent more than a year of my life altogether, maybe two, taking whatever, bathing in public bathroom kind of things, or going to a river or a hose.
Yeah. And wondering where you're going to find your next, water. Where are you going to go to the bathroom, in a bag, maybe in a bucket, whatever. I mean, the rich, they can't even conceive of that. Especially someone
lucky them.
That's, well, I don't know if that's lucky though.
Oh, isn't it? Oh, right. Okay. Now I've got to feel sorry.
And here's why, Chickpea. Here's why, and I'll shut up. It's because now I'm grateful for the things that I do have. Before, I didn't even consider them. Before I was homeless, I had, quite a bit, and had to start completely over again from the ground up at a pretty good age. And now I'm, I don't even have a mortgage, and I own a piece of land, and
lucky you. And
I have a roof over my head. So I'm grateful, but it taught me to be grateful. That's what I'm talking about. For someone who's rich, I have a rich uncle in the family, and I barely ever talked to him or nothing. And he had servants literally living in his house. I feel sorry for him. I really
Really?
do. Yeah, well, he's gone now, but
Okay.
yeah.
Y'all are aware of that 1970 Club of Rome computer thing analysis on limits of growth, and they showed population, quality of the air, quality of life, and quality of life peaked at 2020 on this 1970 computer, and then it dropped off after that, and so did the population started dropping off drastically a little while after that as well. And it was around 2030 something that it was like it was real desolate. Not a lot of people and not a lot of good air and water. Oh,
the Great Reset, yes.
So we're on the hill, right? So we just passed that on our little roller coaster. We went over that 2020 hump, and I don't know if the whole thing they set up was a multi-tiered plan to try to stop it or try to slow it down, but they did change society by doing that. So, I mean, the biggest things that have adjusted society in my life are, there's a few, but, Mount St. Helens, when I was a kid, I was like really amazed by that happening. And, and then definitely the attack on the Trade Center was bizarre and extreme. The media covered it. And then you had
You didn't believe that, did you? The
9/11? The planes definitely hit those buildings.
I'm not saying they didn't, but you don't actually believe.
I don't believe the real story. No. I was meaning the official story. I don't know when the paycheck stopped from the Pentagon to the people that did that.
Job.
So I don't know what's really going on there, but something went on there, and it was for certain reasons. Yes, and it did what it needed to do. And it's just sad that anybody died for any of those reasons, and it's a terrible thing.
Well,
but yes,
what's going on now?
Yeah, they try to pull the wool over our eyes as many times as they can. What used to be used as foreign propaganda stuff, the governments do on their own populations now. And it's just very bizarre that they'd want to take the stuff they learned from World War II brainwashing experiments and apply it to the general public. I'm just shocked. I think the whole QAnon thing was a psyop, and they mixed that with these media people that they impose on us. If you don't notice, the ones that are like the only ones that get millions and millions of views, those are the ones that they're all reading from a script and being paid. They're not dicking around. They're there for a reason. They are not famous overnight because they were a skateboarder. They are working for somebody, and they're making millions.
They're part of the Masonic thing.
Yeah, but people listen to them. It's so terrible. That's what I'm saying. All of the top ones are obviously in on it. So it's like so bizarre that we think that's where all the alternative news would come from, is these talking heads that are obviously not at the top. Like they are working for someone, just like, their own media outlet. It's not theirs. They are working for someone because it doesn't make enough money to be on YouTube and get 10 or 20 million views. That's not enough to live lavishly. You have to get 1 billion views to live a little better. So it's like, it's bizarre at all. And it does work, it seems like, but I don't think it's just like, oh, I'll just start talking about the same thing they do. You might get 20,000. You're not going to get 20 million.
They talk about controversial things that keep people at odds.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to talk about the same things that they do. So that right there tells you they were the first ones that were able to say the words that we all got banned for 5-6 years ago over and over again. Because as far as I know, no one's allowed to use the word, what is it, cry, and then sus, and then the people that would be in a movie. There's several things that would get channels like, bam, you can't say that. It's just like they were saying that the shooting in Colorado was all fake and all that stuff, and the same thing with the Sandy Hook. So it's just like they can say that. So I don't understand how one group can say that and no one else can. Is so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
It's the rich. It's the rich mingling with the rich and doing the same politics, and because what is information?
So it's just like the drugs in the movies. Everybody was doing cocaine in the movies, but they'll throw you in prison. It's just like that's how we have a good time. But if you want to have a good time,
because
put your ass in prison.
Right.
Right.
Isn't
I
that
mean,
crazy? That
this
all of
world is
Hollywood has
about
been
the
in
rich.
cocaine for 70 years. And it's just like, oh, you want some cocaine? Well, that's 4 years in prison. It's like, what the hell's going on? It's just like, well, you're not in that class.
You're not in that class, in that special party. But when they decide to get you, like the Diddies, the Puff Daddies, and
Right,
whoever
when you're
else, and
pushed out of
Epstein,
it. Yeah, when you're all of a sudden you're not protected anymore, it's over. Like, bam, the doors are shut. You're not going back in for a while. I don't know how many
right?
favors they got to do for a favor to make it work after that, because they're not worth anything to the people that double cross them at that point. How can they get away with doing it again?
I would say be thankful you're not in that group.
Right, that's the worst thing in the world, I think, is to be that famous.
Well,
Well,
that's what people aspire to, though. That's what that's the positions that these people are
Yeah,
in.
you
Is
only
what
want to be like
the
professional
average
sport
person
famous. You don't
aspires
want
to.
to. Yeah, professional sport famous is about as famous as you want to be. You don't want to be everybody looking what you're doing all the friggin' time. Won't leave you alone.
yeah, I was
Now you're
almost
in the time
famous.
of the nerd. You're in the time of people who you can be just as famous as the sports guy if you got a good mouthpiece or you know how to work these computers well.
Yeah, I was almost famous once, and they dropped the charges. So,
Hell yeah, bro.
uh, yeah. Sometimes it's not a good thing to be famous.
Well, that's
Well, I mean, I'm
infamy.
just saying in general, this is what people aspire to, right? Most people want to have fame, have
Yeah,
status because
I
with
think like a
fame
race
comes
car
status,
driver
money,
or I don't really
attention.
like ball sports, but any of those is better than being a pop star or an actor these days. Like, it's just like it's not worth it. It's not
Hollywood
worth
is
it. We see
dying,
all these kids that tried to be pop stars. Which kid is okay now? Which one? Which one? Tell me which kid survived past Nick Carter that was young as he was that made it past
Well,
through adulthood.
Hollywood entertainment, Hollywood, Michael Jackson, nobody's here. Like Hollywood, sex, drugs,
Oh,
rock
it's
and
worse
roll.
than a
It's
meat
supposed to be
grinder. Yeah,
drugs,
Lisa Marie
supposed to,
Presley. Like she was
But that's what
older, but she
we
wasn't old.
aspire
Like
to
she
be.
was just bad health. She was not good off. Something was going on there, and I'm hoping there was no foul play. But she right after her movie, the movie about her dad was made, she died like not long after. That was the last thing she publicly did was go to the screening of the Elvis movie, and then she died.
Who's that?
Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis's only daughter.
The daughter?
Yeah. And then
She
they
died?
left everything to
The one
Riley
that was
Keough.
married to Michael Jackson?
Yeah, and Nicolas Cage. Yeah, that girl. She died. They said of a blockage, and then she left everything to her daughter Riley Keough because her son killed himself a year earlier at his own birthday party.
Wow.
And he was about to be a pop star, like release his first single or album, and for
Doesn't
some
say a
reason he
lot
got out
for
of
money,
rehab
does it?
and put a gun to his chest at his own birthday.
Yeah. Money kills a lot of people.
He wasn't even 25.
Yeah.
A lot of people have a lot of demons and things going on that they don't talk about.
And Riley Keough, they're saying that her eggs were used for John Travolta's child or something, and that's the granddaughter of Elvis.
Oh, wow.
So John Travolta's been raising Elvis's children. I mean, whatever.
That's bizarre.
They're all Scientologists. Yeah, Lisa Marie is a Scientologist. Yeah.
Hollyweird.
The Keoughs are Scientologists. I ain't got nothing against them. Everybody's
obviously don't just go to work and go home.
We call it freedom of religion. You can do what you want, but I didn't know that till I was like, what? I don't know about, is Nicolas Cage a Scientologist? Because if Riley Keough and Lisa Marie are, and then was Michael Jackson a Scientologist? Like, I didn't know if he was. That'd be a surprise, right?
They all have connections. I mean, it was a lot of money.
It's just all these things are fraternities. I mean, they help you get jobs. If you know someone that knows someone that knows someone that works there, it's easier to get in. Whatever it is in life, and the brotherhoods of societies that they've had for years that aren't, they're just fraternal orders, which is a brotherhood. So it's like you go to a meeting after church or whatever it is, you wear your bull horns and you drink your thing and talk your stuff and talk how to be better gentlemen or whatever it is, and you go home, and then y'all know someone at the meeting that can help your son get a job at the tool store, you know? So it's just like, that's to me what the fraternal orders were about, was having a leg up in a community and opening a business. They can get people there. It's kind of like word of mouth advertising through a fraternal order.
Well, what about you, man?
I look.
What are you gonna do?
Which one?
You. I hear you talking about a lot of other people and what they do wrong. What about you? What are you gonna do right?
I don't mind what people can do wrong. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna be me.
Okay.
What do I got to
Keep
do? What do
recording,
I need
keep
to do?
watching, and keep putting the pieces to the puzzle together.
I'm just checking, man. You got a lot to say about a lot of other people. What about you?
I'm
What are
gonna
you
work
gonna?
on drawing and stuff. Work on art. Work on my own life, and live it how I see it.
Oh, there you go. Focus on that, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my
The thing
outlet.
about the
I'm gonna
fraternal,
understand.
the thing. My bad.
All I'm saying is just focus on you. Uh, too many times I've in my past that I focus on everything around me and not on
Well,
me. You know.
I hear you. That's why. That's definitely, you got to know yourself and have a focus of your own. The world been going on before you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna go on after you. Like, you got to find yourself in the middle and what you like and be into the things that you like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
There's a
certain
lot of
age.
craziness that's gonna go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, self-importance is in there when we're a kid. When at some point you think you're super important. Between the cartoons and how theme parks or how characters dress up as a kid, and you just feel like the world's kind of a movie or a cartoon, and you're some kind of character. It comes crashing down like a tsunami shitstorm of, this is not real. This is not life. Life sucks. It's all about authority, getting in line, standing up when you're called, and taking your
And
beating.
and the quicker you do, especially for boys and for men, like as we grow into men and grow up, you know what I mean? It's an imperative that we get that lesson early and we go right. At some point in time, you got to go into manhood, knowing this is a shitstorm. Hell's gonna be coming, storms are gonna be coming, but I gotta be here, withstanding it, holding the people up, keeping the thing running. You know what I'm saying? That's the job of a man to his dying day.
Yeah. And you got to find that little
And
bit
there's
of
no
joy.
avoiding it. There's no escaping it. There's only assuming the responsibility. This is what we count men on doing.
We have to find our own happiness and joy too. Yeah, the world's messed up. No
Well,
doubt
we
about it.
is
But
is
there's
there any?
also happiness and joy still to be found. I mean, it's a little harder to find, but it's out there. Find
I
what makes
mean,
you
as
happy.
you
Focus
decide the
on that.
man that you want to, yeah. I mean, we've all been kids and been young. We've all grown up and we've all understood how the world works and things like that. And then we had to decide what part we want to play in that. You know what I mean? What brings us happiness? What makes us feel like a man? You know what I'm saying? I think we're all, men here, and we like to feel like men. So, we can decide that for ourselves, and that's when we grow up and we begin to go on our journey in life. And we have
I'm
to we
just
have to do that.
I got to a place where I almost had to force myself because I felt like I was, pressed into a mold of, everything's bad, everything's wrong, everything's bad, blah blah blah. And I was in that for a long time, and I decided, you know what? The heck with that, man. I'm gonna find me some happiness.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find joy looking at the
absolutely, man.
sunrise. If I can't find a woman,
Absolutely.
I'll go sit at the park and watch them walk by. I don't care. And
Right, right. Something,
you
something.
you got
Well,
it's
we're
got to be
coming up with
something
more ways
positive.
to think.
It's got to be something
Right,
positive. It
absolutely,
can't all be negative. Is what I'm trying to say.
absolutely, absolutely. And that's the recesses of the mind. And you know what I'm saying? We have to We have to find those things in our own mind of what we know. We've been making choices and decisions since we were kids. What toys we like, what girl we like, what car we like. We now, we get to an older age. Okay, this is what I'm working for. This is what I'm living for, and this is what I like, and this is what I'm dedicated to do it. So we have to just stay in that zone, because it's no reason to be depressed, or you know what I mean. There's happiness. There's we're building roads to happiness. So we definitely have to stay on that. As far as women, there's MGTOW, there's Passport Bros, there's dating out, there's all type of outlets and things. And so if we really tap into things, use our mind, hit those receptors of our mind, we really tap into things, we can really get things done. And I think that's what makes men feel like men. And these are the things we need to do.
Yeah, try, at least try to find that little bit of joy, that little bit of happiness. It's out there.
Right.
It is hard to find,
Absolutely.
and the world's very, very negative, and if you let it drag you down, it will.
Absolutely. We
Like
try
a short boat in
to
the lake
find
with
our tribe.
concrete.
We try to find the people who vibe like us. Mhm.
Say again.
I said we try to find our tribe and the people who think like us, feel like us, and make better relationships, friendships, and get into better vibes. As you was talking about our happiness and doing the things
Yeah,
that make us happy.
yeah. Sometimes you got to stand
You know,
alone.
Life,
You know.
liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what they call this. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are inalienable rights.
Yeah, and
absolutely, and the
it's there.
fraternities and the people, yeah, the people that join the fraternities and things, they got deeper aspirations than just working someplace and going home. They want to run the world, be a part of the people who are running the world. You know what I mean? So everybody socially climbs, and everybody has their aspirations, but it only goes higher and higher. You know what I mean? People want to rule the world, and take over and have control
Yeah,
things. You know what I'm saying? This is the
yeah,
nature of man. People,
yeah,
like, we've been watching this and knowing this forever.
yeah.
You know.
There's nothing
So I
wrong
mean,
with dreaming and aiming high, but when you got to have a backup plan too, plan B.
yeah,
And
because we're men. We all face reality. We don't live in a cloud of what I mean, I'm gonna be a star one day. You know what I'm saying? We
Live
all
in the
face our
garage and
real
rent the
life.
house. That's the
We
plan.
right,
all face our real life, minute to minute, day to day. So and I think men are more realistic, and it's just like, okay, let me get my job and get in where I fit in, and try to put my monies and investments and things that make me happy or will get me more monies and and climb.
yeah. I
I mean,
wish
that's
I wish
been our
I
basic thing.
I wish I'd have
Yeah.
known what I know now. 30, 40 years ago, and would have spent a lot less time being you know
This-
angry and a lot more time being grateful.
I mean,
For the things.
specifically, what would be a couple things you told yourself if you could go back just 2, 3 decades just and say something? What would it be? What would be the key thing besides getting Nvidia stock?
Uh, wouldn't be about money, that's for sure. Because I think money would kill me, but uh, it would have been be happy, man. Be grateful for what you have, you know. And that I think I know I am. I can't speak for any of you guys, but I think the world needs a little more gratefulness. At least I woke up this morning. You know, I somewhat still have my health, even at my age. These are things to be grateful for, and it's aside from the ugliness of the world that man brings to it. Fighting over all the scraps. There's still a lot of beauty in the world, man. There's places to go, things to see, people to meet. They're not all bad. A lot of them are. I used to be. So,
People change, people grow. It takes time to realize things. I think that's what life is. Your mind is constantly in it, so you're recording it. And if you don't make the necessary changes or the things that you feel you need to do, you kind of stay in a loop. You know, and it
Yeah.
just repeats until time goes on, because time stops for nobody, right? Time
Yeah.
goes on, and then you finally, like the light bulb in the cartoon over your, over your
Yeah.
head. You know
Ding.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ding.
ding, something going off, and it's like, yo, I can't do this. I can't be in that mind frame no more. Time to
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. Because
And
it's such a
so
downer.
that's what life is about.
It's a
Yeah,
downer,
I
man.
mean,
It's
you
really a
realize that.
downer. Yeah. But
Yeah.
we don't have to let it beat us up if we don't let it.
No, no, no. Right. So it's a choice. We're men. There's nothing over us. Nothing can stop us but death. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like it's
Yeah. And
our
that's going to
choice and
get us
decisions
all.
about what we want to.
Death is coming for
Exactly.
us
So
all.
we face all of that early,
Me
right?
sooner than you.
We make a solemn we make a solemn oath. We understand that early. We understand, you know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about us. It doesn't matter if we die, you know what I'm saying? We have to find something in us that brings us peace. Like our fathers and our grandfathers and things like that. They may have not gotten all the respect or whatever, but they still, what brought them peace was knowing they took care of their family. And you know
Right.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so
That's a good
it's a,
thing to do.
there's going to be no thanks. There's going to be no thanks. He's dead and gone and all of that. But while he was here, he did his job, and that's what was peaceful to him. That was what was right to him, and that's how he lived.
Yeah. I
And
look
you know what
forward
I
to
mean.
being.
So we're thankful for that, and we try to imitate those same hard cast iron. You know what I'm saying? This is what it
Yeah.
is, and let me do it. Let me get at it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not avoid it. Not spend time, stewing and you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
no, we come from sterner. We come from sterner stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our foreparents been through all type of harder times and got through them, so we can be the same.
That's right. And don't get me wrong. There is a time to complain, but not all the time. I mean, I
No, we're only human. We're only
I
human.
I catch myself doing it even still today, and I go, no, no, no. What are you doing? I just
Right,
it's a
right,
waste of time. It really is.
right, right. You're smarter now. You realize how to
Guys,
where
you
to
should
put your
keep an
energy
eye on
now.
the comments in the live chat. People are
Yeah,
trying to interact
I was
with
going to
you.
ask if there was any. I see. Try explaining life's great to non-existent person is like trying to explain how good alcohol is to a non-addict. And we are thankful for waking up in a hellhole. Ain't nobody asked to come here. Thank you, Farhat. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, right. Well, we're here. We got life. We got to do something with it. So now it's like, well, okay, what do you want to do? Who's gonna help you? What's the plan? Okay, what's A, what's B, what's C? You know what I'm saying? What's the layout? Who plays what position? And we execute.
I didn't see if anybody does have a question in the chat. Anybody have a question? Or Raw, do you have a question for me or our other guests and hosts?
I'm just trying to read the what this person is saying in the chat. So
They could just not like us. They could like us. They have options. Everybody has options. Whatever makes them feel best is probably the best option.
Agreed.
well,
Yeah, I'm big
maybe
on.
they should come in and share what they believe. You know, it's kind
Yeah,
of tough.
I try to get on topic, but I don't even. The topic was originally dating in this modern age, and I was like, ugh. But it was like it got to a point where I feel like I could add something to it, but I think the topic changed by the time I got on, which was probably better. Yeah. So where are
Yeah,
we now? We're in the reincarnation cycle and how we use ancient Greek knowledge with geometry, and we could find the writing on the wall. If we could recognize it in the right places under the pyramids, it would lead us to where we need to go. But since we can't do it under the same shadow, since the moon changed positions, it's not going to work anymore.
that's right.
Feel like I'm in an episode of DuckTales.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we're free to talk about anything, but it's just like the current events are getting wild. So it's just like I I don't like to get. I'd like to be in the middle because I have friends everywhere, so I don't want anybody to think I'm like, oh, that I'm like. It's not that I won't choose a side. It's like I will about a certain event, but I will not on in the voting arena. It's just like I'm abstract in my voting. It's just like if I feel like it, I might vote, but it's not really. I don't like politics anymore. That's for sure. I think it divides people. There you go. I've had friends like use my social media to argue over politics, and to the point where they're friending and unfriending and blocking everybody and myself and what. I didn't even say anything. I just watched the argument. And I'm like, good God.
Yeah, people are falling into all these psychological traps. Like it's like we never discussed politics, and we never let these things like disrupt what we have to do in humanity. And now it's like we reached this point where, oh, you voted for Trump or you voted for this, and I'm not messing with you. And I'm like, what? That was a private thing. Anytime we went to the voting booth, we cast our own private vote. Like it's not for discussion, and you know what I'm saying, to be outcasted. You know what I mean? It's like crazy. I never, it's an interesting time.
Yeah, politics and religion are probably the two things that, if you're going to discuss, you get ready to fight.
Private. Right, but they're supposed to be private. You're supposed to be like whatever your religion is and whatever you practice is your right. So it's like not a discussion. It's like whatever.
Whichever inflatable stooge runs their show that they push in front of us, like I don't give a hoot. Like it's not even important. It's just like, is the peacock, important to me? Is that's on the news symbol? Like it's like this stuff isn't important. Like I know they pretend to run things, but that's all they do. It's a show. It's like what's really happening is, you see the results of that on the news. These are people saying later, like, I did that. They didn't do that. This was billions and billions of dollars of Pentagon planning and, industrial complex, years of high-tech stuff and building it to be worse and better in all the, accurate ways to make things more destructive and fly farther and faster, to destroy more things faster and farther and destroy more things and do it quieter and faster. So it's like they're all testing their weapons, and they're having a great time doing it at our expense of paying for it.
Yes, they are.
I know that's what they're getting away with. So it's like it's just some massive weapon test of human expense. It's like terrible. I feel like that might be like the Russian, like remember they're changing the treaties. All this kind of like started to when it wasn't even, I don't know which one it was, if it was the current president or the ones before. They broke the treaties with Putin about the nuclear armament stuff. And this was years ago at this point. And he's like, I think it was to start on one of our dome things, but not even the current one. It was the one before that, not the Golden Dome.
Hello, guys. I'm going to end the live show. You guys can stay on here chatting, though. I don't mind, because it will just go off air, but you can still stay here, okay? So thanks for participating.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, bro. You can hang around. It was interesting, bro. It'd be great to hear about your life, some of your experiences, because you sound like you had an interesting life when you were living in your vehicle and getting on with life, and maybe you might have a lot to offer people in terms of resilience and tips for getting over some of life's difficulties. So we look forward to hearing that at some point. But yeah, guys, good stuff. I'll chat to you next time. Yeah.
All right.
Later on.